because it was an estate, they didn't really care about everything. So that they would like roll up to me, try and steal my bike, just like stuff that was like really immature and like just really no point of doing just because they're bored. But I was really glad that I escaped from that at a young age. I think I probably would be in a gang, probably be in prison by now, offending crimes and doing all this bad stuff. So I'm really fortunate that I moved here.
Oh, I only heard about Circus last year. I didn't really understand what Circus was. I thought it was just like clowns juggling and like horses, like in like a ring. I started physical movement around 2005 when I first started secondary school, and as soon as it hit 2010, that's when I just went for the whole 2-year course for college of dance, just strictly, and it bettered my skills and gave me more variety within movement and stuff like that.
Well, I grew up on, well, the streets, basically, of London. More of a hood rat, to be quite honest with you, from Penge. Yeah, I've been in care, I've done a lot of things with my life. I've been places like Hastings, Dover, everywhere like that. And yeah, just looking for the next best thing, really. What inspired me to free run was, I'll be quite honest with you, but running from the police. That's before I actually started doing it as a sport. Everyone I've ever grown up with has always been inspired to do some free running. It's just lately they've just moved on, really. They've just gone on to their own lives, doing their own jobs and everything. I don't really see that many free runners around my area.
So I first got into skating, it was a normal shortboard, and I used to roll around and do tricks. And then as the years got on, I tried more different things, and at the moment I'm into longboarding and dancing. As you move your feet, you're changing the way the skateboard moves, so you have to keep balance on the skateboard as well as over your feet. Despite the name, it doesn't share a lot of roots with what we consider normal dance or street dance. And then when I got back to London, there's a big community of skaters here, and some of them are into dancing, so I started trying it out. I think I was always aware there were people doing it, but I wasn't aware that they were like so close, so there were people in my city or that I could go and meet and do stuff like that. And then as I got better and trained with people who were really quite high level with it, I began to realise their performance opportunities as well. And I answered an advert which was for one of these, and it was through the Roundhouse. It was for the Funk de Cirque. I'm Ben, and I'm 25 years old.
My name's Cece. I'm 19 years old, and I live in Camden.
My name is Romario. I'm 13 years old, and I'm from Camden, originally from Wembley.
Name's Michael Close, and I'm 21.
Well, the story begins with, I heard about a project in Colombia called Circus para Todos. So I decided to try and make contact with them. From that, I found out they were going to be part of a festival called Cirque de Demand. And I think they won a bronze medal, but they were, for me, by far the best act in the festival. It was the best music. It felt really fresh. It was the least cheesy. It was really kind of impressive skills. We had a 1-hour slot in Circus Fest in 2010. We agreed to give them some development time to make a 1-hour show, and we did it. We knew it was quite rough and it didn't really have much of a story, but a whole audience on their feet running towards the stage, girls going crazy, screaming. It was a little bit like having the Beatles, and it totally sold out. So from that point, we knew we had to continue working with them because, you know, they're so amazing.
So Columbia were performing here at the Roundhouse at the time, and their show was absolutely circus and incredible acrobatics, but very cool as well and quite urban. That was when we realised, okay, this is how you get young people excited about circus. You kind of make it more relevant and more current. And we were interested in whether we could use the circus programme here to engage harder to reach young people. So we felt that one way to do that would be to create street circus, which was essentially combining street dance, hip-hop, projects that had been very popular with young people, and joining that with circus. So mixing hip-hop, street dance with acrobatics and circus skills. So they inspired us to kind of start Street Circus.
I used to think it was like kiddie, so it's just like entertainment. So you get a clown just acting silly. And then when you see real circus, you're like, wait, hold on. How are people doing that together? So you realise that circus is very broad.
We've been doing some circus workshops with young people before, but we haven't thought of using it as a tool for reaching some of the harder to reach young people in the area.
Right at the start of the project, we worked in partnership with Islington. So an ambition as well was to run workshops on Friday evening or Saturday evening or times when antisocial behaviour peaked. If Cirque Columbia were here performing, we'd kind of get a little mini group of them and take them out. So we went to about 3 different estates in Islington and a park, and they would go and do a kind of 10-minute performance. And it looks pretty cool, and it definitely challenges people's perception of what circus is.
31 years I've been teaching now, working with refugees with problems, young kids with family problems, you know. Here in Roundhouse, they already were running street circus programs. So then they called me, I came for a meeting, and yeah, it's like 5 years now or something like that, or 4 years I've been working here.
From deciding that this was its own programme, we were really ambitious.
We start with one drop-in class in Roundhouse. It was the Thursday one, that one. We start with maybe 5, 6 kids at the beginning.
I think there was a session with Haverstock School, and then there was a drop-in session, and then there was an advanced acrobatic session which we had on a Sunday, which eventually turned into Funk de Cirque because there was a desire for performance within that.
We created Funk de Cirque as our kind of performance company for the Street Circus programme. But we found that to go from drop-in to kind of Funk de Cirque was too big a jump, so we needed something in the middle there, so we put in the intermediate acro.
At the moment, I prefer learning the new stuff. So a lot of the time I come to the dance sessions and it's really good, it's valuable for me, but I'm learning more in the acro sessions, so I engage more with them. I find it really interesting.
As soon as we kind of saw what Circus Paratodos were doing in Colombia and wanted to replicate that, it kind of became a social circus programme.
This year we've been working with Camden Centre for Learning as part of our 3-year programme with them. So Camden Centre for Learning is a pupil referral unit in Camden. They work with young people who've been taken out of mainstream school, and we work with Key Stage 3, so 11 to 14-year-olds.
A lot of the students that were coming here, say for example from the pupil referral units, they were a bit like, well, what is circus? It's kind of helpful for me to have come from where they are, to have gone to the circus stuff and meet in the middle. It was my focus on my dancing and, you know, the kind of hip-hop stuff that kept me out of a lot of trouble.
It's about engaging people who wouldn't normally engage with circus and giving them circus as a tool for self-development and growth and community development. I worked with Circus Kathmandu in Nepal, which is a charity. It's a project for young people who have been stolen from Nepal, and this charity that I was working for brings them back and then creates opportunities of employment for them.
It's just about finding the most appropriate way for that individual to find where their discipline, where their dedication, where their focus lies.
Young people who are kind of in a transition at school in that they're not fitting into mainstream school, and so they bring them to the Headway group, and we teach them a different way to learn, and most of them respond really well. They really grasp this alternative way of learning.
So what we wanted to do was every year have an ambition to introduce another school and another off-site outreach project.
And then from there we moved to the lift, to the place, you know, to Aziport, and still it's going to grow more.
Our outreach projects, it's always a challenge getting young people who are hard to reach to take part, by the very nature that they're hard to reach.
There's a group of refugees who are in this country without their parents, and some of them live in a house together or they stay in foster homes, and they all come together on this Friday night and do the circus skills. For them, it's not only about doing circus skills, it's about them being together and being somewhere else.
Because of these sessions, like, we got closer and we got to know each other more. We would never have met, but this kind of brings everyone together.
when I first came, there wasn't that much tutors or people to help you, but now there's several which are really good and they're really professional, and I feel having that support can push me to go on further.
Well, I started working for Cirque du Soleil in 2000 and helped create a completely new show. I love the technical aspect of the work that we do, but actually I like exploration as well. And for me, this has just allowed me to understand what the Roundhouse needed. Mario, when he joined, he's just raw talent. He's a little bit of a whirlwind at times. His development is more of an emotional development than, say, a technical one.
It's helped me with like practical stuff at school, because I'm usually, like, loads of my people in school are very tired, and I feel like I'm one of the fittest people in my school because of what I do outside of school.
I think it also provides a safe environment for young people who perhaps are self-taught on the street, and they usually don't have a place where they can go and learn those skills or even just practice those skills off their own backs. There's a bigger part of what we do, which is social development and social inclusivity.
I first heard about Street Circus when they came to do a workshop at my dance company that I'm with.
Cici was performing with another group. We were about to do auditions and we called them, so you're more than welcome to come to the audition. So Cici came and yeah, she got the place. She's a hard worker, is always there.
And I went to the play sessions and I really enjoyed it, and I carried on going until the term had stopped. And it gave me something to do every Saturday instead of stay at home or going out all the time. So it made me feel like I'm gaining something.
Cici she's almost a law unto herself, because she works so hard and so diligently. She's got all the drive in the world, and she's got all the ability in the world. Cici is able to take the pulse of a group. She's able to speak eloquently about what's right with the group, what's wrong with the group, and she's a really invaluable member of the team.
I've learned a lot, actually. I've learned to be more confident within myself, within everything, everyday stuff. I never used to conversate much with people because I'd feel I'd be judged all the time. But then I realised, and I thought, I should stop thinking about other people, because the saying is, you were brought into this world by yourself, you don't need no one else. So then I thought, I'm not going to worry about what people think, I'm going to do what I do. If I mess up, I mess up. And doing performances and being in part of this has made me feel more open than to more closed.
Funk the Cirque, wow, it's been a journey. We've gone from what started off as an advanced acrobatics group into a performance group, and it's just come on leaps and bounds from the first show that we did at Circus Fest in the Magic Mirrors tent.
It was the opening of Funk the Cirque, let's say. We did a half-an-hour show.
So fun, it's the best thing I've ever done. It's like Addis and Zavi and DJ are great. They help you so much, and if you don't get something right, they just help you improve, and we've just really developed as a whole group together, and we've really come close to each other.
Zavi and myself and DJ, who was working with us at the time, were just standing back going, the whole audience is dancing. Like, wow.
The success of Funk the Cirque has been incredible. It's given us a strong idea of what works for young people in London and how we can engage the harder to reach groups. And we've really tried to respond to what's been successful, and one way of doing that was parkour.
So the idea for that is that young people will know what free running is. So it's about making kind of what we do adjust to the environment that we're doing it.
Well, it has a really broad appeal, that's why it's really popular and quite successful as a youth working tool. It's a social activity which encourages collaboration, but it doesn't encourage competition. So I'll do sort of a teamwork exercise where they all have to achieve something. It's only achieved if the whole group achieves it. So collaboration is necessary for them all to achieve. I had Michael come in on Monday, his first time in that training session, but certainly not his first time practicing parkour. And I could sense, and other people could sense, that he did feel that restriction and wanted to just run.
I've taught myself on the streets, so I don't really know how to flip properly and land properly and stuff. I want to come here for the experience, basically. I want to gain something out of this, because life's too short to just throw it away.
The practice of parkour is to make your body able to respond to any environment that's unfamiliar, and you can encounter it in a natural way. The physical practice also helps you see an environment completely differently, and that's also a metaphor for life, for careers, for social and professional routes to what you want.
Bloody excellent. It's better than learning on the streets. I actually just learned that I can side flip off a wall. All I need to do now is tuck and get it right. So I'll be coming back next week to try that. It's a nice experience, that's what I'm going to say. It's a nice, good experience, and I'd definitely advise other people to come.
I think that probably consolidates all the years he's been practicing in a sort of ad hoc, random way. And when you're at that young age and you're striving for relevance and identity in a very sort of busy, messy, complicated environment, and something like that just consolidates that there is something you've been working on in your life, something consistently you've been developing and improving, and that can have an impact on other people.
Parkour, since we started the programme, has really become more part of what we would call the street circus genre. When we first started it, it was very much acrobatics and dance. We're really encouraging anything that naturally fits with circus to be part of that. For some young people in our outreach sessions, it's about having somewhere to go once a week to develop skills, meet new people and build their confidence. For others, they prefer to focus towards a performance. We've been able to offer the performance aspect with Funk de Cirque.
From very early on with Funk de Cirque, I had an ambition that I wanted 50% of that company to always have progressed through the street circus programs. It's pretty much 90%.
First got the group together possibly December 2011, and we worked, pretty much flat out through till April. Now that was their first, full-blown performance.
What we didn't anticipate was that people would see them and they've started getting bookings. After they did the show in April 2012, then they had a crazy summer. I think they did 80 performances in total at Peterborough Festival.
The Watch the Space Festival at the National Theatre.
They've been to Malta,
Camp Festival,
Rotterdam.
The Funk is back.
Piccadilly Circus. We're in talks about them going out to France next year.
So, international group.
That was when we almost sat down and were like, OK, hang on, what do we want this group to be? How do we make it work? So now we've got a really brilliant structure for how they're going to focus on training and then develop a performance for Circus Fest next year.
Circus Fest 2014, Funk de Cirque. Yeah, we're working on the show for that right now. And again, it's another amazing thing for the young people, as well as the street circus program in general.
Funk de Cirque performed in the main space and had their own show as part of our summer sessions programme, which was a sellout show, which is absolutely brilliant for the young people involved.
I feel that went really good because all of the run-up, I thought it was really bad because my bit in it wasn't very good, but it's not about me, it's about the whole group. But the rehearsals and everything was fine, and then the show, I think we smashed it. We did a really good job.
Funk de Cirque have been a great example for demonstrating how the street circus programme can help young people to grow and develop physically and emotionally, which is the key to our approach across the whole programme. Now, we've created the Street Circus Collective, which offers a more fluid progression that's more accessible across all of our three main strands, which are the schools partnerships, core delivery, and outreach sessions. We're currently running 9 regular weekly sessions, and we're also looking at other performance opportunities we can offer to our young people, which include a return of Cirque Columbia 3 years after the programme started in April 2015. This will enable us to offer over 150 opportunities and for everyone in the Street Circus programme to be involved.
The actual mentoring and the teaching side is straightforward. I think the Roundhouse has got some really great teachers and great mentors and great examples of the industry.
When I first started, I felt out of my comfort zone, but then I thought, put my mind to it, And when we had to do the acro, it sort of made me feel, maybe if I get that right and I control it, maybe I can control the movement within the street styles that we do. So then I thought, okay, maybe I'm gonna get somewhere. It's given me skills, but if I don't put in any effort, I won't gain the skills. So it's a good opportunity and you have to grab it whilst you can. But I think if I didn't do this, I don't know what I'd be doing, to be honest. I don't know if I'd be as flexible, if I'd be as determined and confident within myself as a person generally.
I think I've become more open to new things. I think in the beginning I was very much here for the dance and the acro I was kind of putting up with. And at the moment I'm really keen to try all the new things. So I'm trying some aerials, some sear wheels, all sorts of stuff. And also the course has been changing bit by bit. So at the moment we have more training than we've had in the past. That's already a really good improvement. It's been really good actually. So I've alluded to in my youth work I do a lot of teaching as well. So I think I'm always interested in different teaching methods and I really appreciate the professionals, the tutors that we've had. And I also think it makes the young people in the course more aware of what they're aspiring to as potential professionals in the future. So that's really helpful.
How do I sum up the Roundhouse? It's round. It's round, it's full of good people, people that actually want to work with young people and make their life better. They introduced me to street circus and stuff like that, and from there I said to them, like, I want to get involved and stuff, and they put all their effort into getting me involved. If anyone can get onto the Roundhouse, I'd have strongly advised them to do it because they've changed my life, and if they can change my life, then they can change a load of other people's lives. It's a good little project, and I think we should have more projects like that.
I could have probably died trying to do it when I was younger. But this is showing me the security and what it can actually do to my body if I don't do it correctly. So I've started to respect my body more. If this leads me on to something better, I would want to become a professional performer because this can actually happen because I have the opportunity of being a professional and opportunity of just getting better at tricks when I know professional could mean much more like virtual opportunities for me. And I think it's really good for my personal health as well as my physical health.
They don't have to have a quantifiable accolade or achievement to get a sense of belonging, a sense of identity, a sense of purpose, a sense of meaning.
The future of street circus is just to grow and to actually find its feet.
So we can go have fun.
Just to get a taste of what a little bit of confidence can do, like within circus, everyone can find something they're good at. I hope that it can reach out a lot further and spread its wings and help more people.
If you really understand what circus is, it's about you guys really pushing it in your way. If you've got a passion, there's an open door.